Um, sometimes I can be headstrong, so it does get on my nerves sometimes. So if you are individual, it may annoy you at first, but I know that they're looking out for my benefit. So it could be seen as a negative to someone who is more individual and independent like myself, because it can seem like people are in your business. Like, I know my neighbors, like, they be just listening to my conversation, and I don't know if they think that they know my whole lives just because they heard a few conversations. But there's been times that I've been crying in my house. Like, one time I had a nervous breakdown because I was just thinking about my life, just reflecting, and I allow myself, like, 10 minutes just to break down, and then I'm up again. I'm good. But my neighbor was like, "Are you okay?" He's like talking from the window, like, but he's not looking in my house. He's just talking from next door, but I can hear him, and he's like, "Are you okay? Do you need my help? Can I help you with anything?" And so people who like just vent in silence, in privacy, it can be kind of annoying. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. I'm not even gonna lie, you guys, I've been really enjoying Ghana. I've been tending to my daughter. She had like a 2-week holiday, and then I've just been enjoying Ghana for the past 2 weeks. I've been back in the gym, drinking a liter of water a day, just trying to get my wellness together, because if I don't feel good, I can't really pour into you guys. So today I'm going to be discussing the 10 things that I love about Ghana. I know a lot of people think when I mention the negatives that I'm trying to pick on the country or I'm trying to be negative, but let me just make one thing clear. I'm here to guide people out of Babylon, okay? So a lot of people don't have the type of faith to take the risk that I did coming out here with about a couple $1,000s. And I'm here to help those people get out of Babylon way easier and really give them the big picture of what's in every country. And I have to include the positive and negative so that people know where to go. Because the last thing that I want is to lead people in the wrong direction. My goal is to travel to every country in Africa and to lead people to the country that's best for them. Overall, Ghana is one of my favorite countries. The top two for me is Ghana and Kampala. As far as Ghana and Uganda has been my favorite country so far. So I don't have anything against Ghana. I didn't have anything against Tanzania when I had to speak the truth on that country, but I can't just come here and just lead people astray. If you guys want to see toxic positivity, and I'm not saying like people who focus on positivity are toxic positive, but there is such a thing as toxic positivity, and that's not gonna do any good for my people when they want to leave the West and they come here and they see the negatives for them, and it's like, oh my gosh, I wish I would have known this, and I wouldn't have come here, So Ghana is not the best fit for everyone. And honestly, people who are not fit for this country, you don't want them to be here because they're going to complain and it's going to be all negative. But for me, I see positive and negative in every place. In Jamaica, in America. I have lots to say about America, Jamaica. But for now, I'm here in Africa and people really want my guidance. So I'm here being of service to my people. So if you're here to get your ego stroked because you're in the country that I'm talking about, or you're here to hear all the toxic, to focus on toxic positivity, this is not the channel for you. I have had my mouth shut my entire life by narcissistic people telling me, oh, shut your mouth. my throat chakra has been closed for so long that I'm not going to come here all the way to Africa where I've stepped out on the most faith that I've ever stepped out on in my life and lie to people. So today I'm going to focus on the positive, but you know there's another side to the positive, right? So today I'm going to focus on mostly the positive, but there's a polar opposite to every there's a polar opposite to the polar opposite to positive is negative. So today I'm gonna focus on the positive, but also the negatives that come with those positives. Okay. So today, let's get into it. All right. Number one is how kind and honest people are. Now, there are times where I've left money behind. Just the other day, I paid someone 20 CDs for 5 mangoes. And the guy was just so honest and kind that he ran after me and he had some girls run after me and give me my change back. He was like, "You paid way too much money." Okay. And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you so much." But, and there's another time where I had paid too much for headphones, and the next day he flagged me down and gave me my change. So this is something that I've not experienced. In Now, I'm not saying I haven't experienced honesty in the other African countries that I've been to, but I've experienced more honesty here in Ghana and than any other country that I've traveled to so far. And this is my fifth African country that I've been to. But there is a negative that goes with that because people are so kind. Sometimes they can be very agreeable. And what I mean by agreeable is like they'll lie right in your face about something that would make the situation kind of uncomfortable. Um, what's an example? Like they'll give you white lies, right? So they're not like what do you call dishonest people overall, but they will give you white lies. Like I asked this lady, I said, "You like these sunglasses?" I was looking for some shopping for sunglasses, and her face was like, "Nah, I'm not feeling it." But she literally looked at me straight in my eye and said, "Yeah, it's nice," but her face was like, "Nah," and I'm just like, just tell me the truth because in America we'll be like, "Girl, no, I ain't feeling it. It's not cute." But I mean, some people will give you white lies too, because that's not really something dependent on like your location. That character trait is not dependent on your location completely. But in the West, I think we do keep things a lot more real. Like even in Jamaica, we'll let you know, like, "Nah, I'm not feeling it. I don't like it." But here, like they'll lie to you when they don't want to make things uncomfortable. So even though they are kind, there is a negative that goes with positive. This little ducks are chasing this little boy into the house is funny. So yeah, there is, negative that goes with every positive. So overall, I just love how kind they are most of the time. But it's when you're looking for honesty, if it's going to make them feel uncomfortable to tell you the truth, they won't tell you the truth. Most people. So yeah, that's number one. Number two is how much they love the Jamaican culture. Like I'm so flattered to see Jamaican flags everywhere. I am from Kingston, Jamaica. I know I don't speak with an accent, but I can switch it on and switch it off whenever I want to. But it's just more it's just more natural for me to speak with an American accent because I've lived in Jamaica. I lived in Jamaica for 9 years, and I lived in America for over 20 years. So it's more natural for me to speak with a American accent. But those who know me, I'm from Kingston, Jamaica. I'm not too far from where Bob Marley is born, but the I love how it like you can find foods that are in Jamaica. You see Jamaican flags everywhere you go. But one thing that is negative about that I don't like is they mimic the Jamaican accent because they love it so much. When I first got here and I stayed at the Big Millie's Hotel resort, I met these guys, and one of the guys were interested in me. And he was, talking to me, and he kept switching on the Jamaican accent more than I heard his Ghanaian accent, and I was just like, that was my face the entire time. I'm like, just be yourself. I came here to hear the Ghanaian languages. I don't want to. I don't mimic my people because what they have I think what they have misconstrued and confused is all Jamaicans don't speak patois. Like my parents, they didn't speak patois because they were educators. So they were teachers. When you go to the education system, when you're around school teachers and people who have an academical background, people don't speak patois. I embarrassed myself when I went back to Jamaica and I told my teacher, I was like, Wagwan, and she was like, what's going on? So it's not, that's not how Jamaicans speak all the time, especially the ones that are well traveled like myself. We tend to take on other accents when we move to that country. But for someone who's been in Ghana their entire lives, never been to Jamaica, some people may take offense to it. So that's something that I don't like, but I do love how much you guys embrace the culture. But I think you should become more aware on what an actual Jamaican speaks like most of the time, because 50% of the people speak patois and then 50% doesn't. We can talk it if we want, but I don't speak patois because if I spoke it around my parents, they would look at me as if I'm crazy. So there are different type of Jamaicans. You have people who speak patois. You have people who are in London. You have people who are in America. You have people from all over. One thing about Jamaicans, we are everywhere. So when you put on the patois language and you're not from there, it can be offensive to people coming from Jamaica. So that's one thing that I don't like about it. But like I said, there's a polar opposite to every positive, and there's negatives that comes with every positive. So yeah, that's number 2. Okay, number 3 is the community environment. Now, you guys, I'm in Coco Brite, so people are way more close knit here than they are in Accra, like the city area, metro area. But people watch you, every day. If you're buying groceries, if whatever, they can just see what you're doing. If I was to talk to a guy and I'm walking through the neighborhood, like they know I'm talking to this guy. Like it's very close knit. So they watch everything that you do. And I love it because like there are certain things that people call me out on and they hold me accountable. And there's times that people have come to my rescue. There's times that people will allow me to pay them later because they now know who I am. They know that I'm an honest person and they've built rapport with me. So they know, like, all right, she's going to pay me back. So I like that. I love it that I can build that trust with the people. And I love that there's sometimes when I first came here, I'm not going to lie, I don't know if I was like anxious or whatever when I came to Ghana because this was where I originally wanted to be. And I was just drinking a lot of soda. I was drinking alcohol, and I don't really drink alcohol normally, not a lot. Yeah. So like when I was drinking all that soda, my neighbors was like, okay, that's enough. No more soda. Like you drinking way too much soda. And honestly, I like that because I'm not really close with my dad is passed on. He's gone. My dad was the one to keep me accountable. Like, maybe you shouldn't be eating that. You shouldn't be doing this. even my landlord, he's like, I seen you ordering KFC. So you've been ordering it quite a lot. You need to stop. But it's true, honestly. So if you want an environment where people hold you accountable, if you need help with something, and or say you don't have money, or someone is trying to hurt you, like, you can count on the people in your community. Recently, someone put doo-doo on my patio. I don't know why they did that. I don't know who did it. Honestly, I don't even want to discuss it. It's pretty disgusting. I think I may have gotten an enemy without without me even unconsciously. But yeah, I was like so upset, and so confused, because I mind my business and I don't understand why someone would do that. But somebody did it, and everyone in the neighborhood was like, how can we help? Let's go find the person. Let's see if it's the person that you assume it to be. Yeah, so I like that. But the negative that comes with that community environment is, I am an individual. I've been raised in America most of my life, so I like the individual side of me, but I also am craving a community as well. So I like it like 50-50. I like what I have become in America, but I also like what I'm becoming here. But one thing that I don't like about the community environment is, like, I do what I want to do sometimes, So if I'm eating KFC, let me eat the KFC. This is something that's popular in Jamaica. We love KFC, so let me eat it. But I like that they hold me accountable too, because I am trying to be more health conscious. But sometimes I can be headstrong, so it does get on my nerves sometimes. So if you are an individual, it may annoy you at first, but I know that they're looking out for my benefit. So it could be seen as a negative to someone who is more individual and independent like myself, because it can seem like people are in your business. Like, I know my neighbors, like, they be just listening to my conversation. And I don't know if they think that they know my whole life just because they heard a few conversations. But there's been times that I've been crying in my house. Like, one time I had a nervous breakdown because I was just thinking about my life, just reflecting. And I allow myself, like, 10 minutes just to break down, and then I'm up again. I'm good. But my neighbor was like, "Are you okay?" He's like talking from the window, like, but he's not looking in my house. He's just talking from next door, but I can hear him, and he's like, "Are you okay? Do you need my help? Can I help you with anything?" And so people who like just vent in silence, in privacy, it can be kind of annoying. But I like that I'm safe. People are concerned about me. So, yeah. Positive for some people, negative for some people. So, yeah. That's number 3. So, I love, love, love the food. I wrote it down. Let me. Wache. Curry. They have curry and white rice. Jollof fries. Um, Sugar bread, butter bread. Um, what is it? Pinkasa? Pinkase? I don't know the damn name. I'll put the picture up there. But it is, I don't know if there's a negative that goes with this. Maybe I won't list a negative for every positive. But I love the food. I mean, there's really no negative that goes with that. Just in my area, I'm kind of limited. So it depends on where you are, what you have access to. But I actually like that I don't have access to a lot of stuff, because I've changed my lifestyle being in this type of town. Like, they don't have a lot of fast food places in this area. And I like that, because only KFC and Pizza Hut is available to me. And I don't really eat pizza like that. And I don't eat KFC like that. But there is times that I do maybe want to certain things that I'm used to eating, and it's not in this type of town. So you just have to research like where you want to live, because Ghana is a huge place, and if you're not living in the city, which is very much more expensive, um, you have to know that you're limited to what you have. So it could be a negative to some people. But being that I am from Jamaica and I'm used to already eating this type of stuff, it's good. But based on where you're living, you may not have the accessibility to the things that people eat in Accra. So if you want more options, Accra would be the best place for you. But when I get up, let me give you a rundown. I eat egg sandwich. They give you the bread with the eggs. She puts salt on it. She puts onions in there, and she puts cabbage. And I like it because I always used to like eggs with cheese. Like I always had to have eggs with cheese. If it doesn't have cheese, I didn't want it. But it's something about the texture of the cabbage. I'm like, I like this, and it's much more healthy. And then for lunch, I may have like rice, and then like curry with white rice. But I don't eat much meat now. I stopped eating chicken, but I do eat fish. So at night I eat fish, tilapia. There's lots of people cooking tilapia, and then but I'm gonna be honest. The negative about that is like there's not much variety, in my town. In Accra, there's lots of variety, but in my town, it isn't much variety. So I kind of have to embrace this healthier lifestyle where I'm just eating the same type of things every day. But I must say it's probably not much variety based on my preferences. It's all about your preferences. I would love if they had salmon. Um, you know, More options as far as like takeout food. So if you're from America and you used to eating like certain things, it's dependent on where you live if they actually have that stuff. Yeah. So just keep it in mind. Like your whole diet may change when you come here, but it's all for the best. That's why I came here to Ghana, and I had to remind myself, like, I didn't come here to have an American lifestyle. And that's one thing that I was thinking of when I left America, because I spent so much money on Uber Eats that Uber Eats is sending me emails talking about, we miss you. When are you coming back? We have a discount. Because I must have spent thousands on Uber Eats each year. And that's bad. That's really bad. Because I'm trying to hold up, let me wipe my eyes. I'm trying to live longer for my daughter. When my mother and my father moved to America, they were eating some of the stuff that we're used to eating in America, but it isn't prepared the same. It isn't the same quality. So I think that's why my parents got cancer. Was one, the stress, and the second thing is the GMO fake foods that we have in America. So even though there's not much variety based on my personal preferences, it is very healthy, the type of foods that I'm eating every day. So I'm learning to embrace it. My daughter loves it. She's always like, delicious, delicious, tasty. Like she's learning all these words now. So she'll be 3 in June, and she loves jollof rice. She loves the fish. She's like, Mommy, I'm hungry. Let's go get fish. So she loves it. When I was in Jamaica, we pretty much ate the same thing every day. And then on the weekend, we may switch it up and have like, every day we ate curry. No, not curry. Every day we ate rice and peas and baked chicken. Every day, my mom. And honestly, that was probably the healthiest that I ever was in my life. And then on the weekends, they made like curry. When we go to family events, they may make a little oxtail and a little goat, But I like it. I'm starting to like it. But for some people, it may be a negative because it's like, oh my gosh, I remember, who was it? That couple that came out here that was complaining so much. And it was like, they don't have snacks and this and that. Like, if you're used to eating those processed snacks and things like that, you might as well just detox it out of your system before you come to Ghana, because that stuff won't be here. And when you find it, it's very, very, very expensive. So just keep that in mind. One thing I love about Ghana is the entrepreneurial spirit that I see here. Like, um, people sell everything. Like, they be having stuff on their heads, carrying it on their heads, and they sell everything. Like, when I was in East Africa, it seemed like the variety of things that they sold wasn't very wide. Like, they pretty much sold the same things. When you were in traffic, like, everybody is selling the same items all the time. But here in Ghana, I've seen so many variety of items that they're selling. Like, they have such a huge variety. Like, people will sell you water. Some people will sell bread rolls. Some people are selling shoes on the side of the road. Some people are selling, I mean, just, there's no limit on what they sell. Like, they sell everything. Sunglasses, which is a smart idea because it's always sunny. Um, they're just much smarter when it comes to knowing what people like and what people need. I've seen a lady walking around the neighborhood, and she had a bunch of underwear packaged in her bin, and she's carrying it on her head. And I took her number because I was like, it's hard to find underwear in this area. I have to go to the mall to get that type of stuff. So, yeah, like, they sell everything. So, pretty much anything you need, you can find it. And on Instagram, a lot of people sell clothes, shoes, like anything you're looking to find. If you put it in the hashtags, you'll find it. And most of them do payment on delivery. If they don't do payment on delivery, I suggest you do your research to make sure it's not a scam. But some people may not offer it because they just started the business. But it's a lot of people that offers payment on delivery, and I've ordered from these people. I ordered this mic from one of the companies on Instagram. So I really like that. I like that accessibility. Oh, it's a beautiful horse over there, you guys. Oh, yeah, he's so pretty. So yeah, like, I love that. But the thing that I don't like, I don't like to see people sleeping on their jobs. You know, there are people that are hustlers, and I see them moving all day, and I'm like, okay, those type of people are going to succeed in life, because you're not sitting here waiting for somebody to make you rich. But I do think there's a few people that sit around and they think that somebody's going to make them rich, you know, and a few people do think like, okay, if I hustle this American or this Jamaican, like, maybe this one sale will make me rich. No, that's not how it works. So I do think that some people have like a lack mentality when it comes to running their business. And they just think that business is just going to come to them. No, you have to go to the business. You have to market yourself. You have to have that energy. Like, you know, coming from Jamaica, like, we're just hustlers. Like, you know, we work 5 jobs. Like, right now, I literally woke up, went to the gym, came here, shot this video, got a tutor, then I got to pick up my daughter. Like, I'm always moving. So, just traveling the world, I've noticed, like, I have to have an abundant mentality to really succeed and have the things that I deserve. You know, you don't deserve anything if you're not going to work hard for it. So I do think a lot of people think like that Americans have it easy when they come here, and they think that we just have it easy. Nah, we slaving to make our money. You know, if we have success, either we sold our soul to get it, or we've sold all our energy to get that money. So, yeah, like that's one of the things that I don't like about it. But overall, most people are entrepreneurs. And I really like that because I can see the economy increasing so much because of this. But I do think a lot of some people should work a lot harder. Harder, yeah. So don't shoot the messenger. The next thing that I love is the nightlife and the unlimited amount of fun. Now, I haven't really gotten out there. I haven't got my feet wet. I haven't been out at night, but I see the options and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get out there. I just have to find a very dependable babysitter because I do not play about my child. Okay, so once I do plan to go out and network and meet people and have a little fun. But I do see the options and it's like, wow, like this seems like the funnest country that um, I've been to in Africa so far out of the 5 countries that I visited. Yeah, there's like so many options on nightlife. It doesn't matter like really what you're into. They have beach parties. They have. Don't have to tell y'all. This is just look at the year of the return, and you will see all the events that they have each year. Like, there's just so much to do. Um, yeah, so you're never gonna get bored. It's all about enjoyment in Ghana. But but the negative that comes with that, y'all, is the noise pollution. I don't know why people don't talk about this stuff. So this is why I like to, speak my truth, because there's so many channels that tell you like, I love this about Ghana, I love this, but then they tiptoe around the things that people should know, when it comes to the negative. So the noise pollution, nobody has mentioned this, but I thought it was just me. I'm like, am I being miserable or what? But this is a lot. Like, the churches are so loud. And in my area, there's like 4 churches within a quarter of a mile distance. No, within 500 feet, there are 4 churches. Yeah. So because there's so many churches within a short distance of one another, you can hear the music from 4 churches at one time. So then it just sounds like a bunch of noise, like a bunch of loud noise, because everybody is using their instruments at the same time. So you can imagine how that sounds, And I think how loud they're playing the music it causes noise pollution, which actually has an effect on people's overall health. And this is something I didn't even know, but yeah, there's a lot of noise pollution. And I didn't hear anything about this before coming to Ghana. I heard that in the city, you hear a lot of noise pollution from the clubs, the nightclubs, but I don't hear any of that because there's no nightclubs in this area. But you do hear a lot of music from these churches all at the same time, and everybody's playing their music so loud, over the limit of how loud it's supposed to be, I think legally. So it's a lot. And like, if you love God, I love him too, but I think there should be some type of consideration to the public and people who are coming from other countries who live here, and just kids. Like, my daughter was sleeping yesterday morning, and 6 a.m. somebody attempted to start using the drums in the morning. The rooster was already waking everybody up, but my daughter was still sleeping. And then they started playing on the drums. I think the roosters got upset because it's like, that's my job. I'm supposed to wake everybody up. But the rooster is not as loud as those instruments. So that you could just imagine how loud those instruments. But I have nothing against how people choose to worship God. I just wish that they would be more considerate of the noise level, the time of the service. Yeah. Don't shoot me, you guys. I'm just here to tell you the truth and open you up to sides of Ghana that people aren't brave enough to tell you before getting here. If you have any video suggestions for me, please leave your video suggestions below, and I would really appreciate it. Once again, thank you for watching. This is Lala's Journey. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Bye. One love.